Thanks for joining us here on World Tech Update. I'm Nick Barber. Google is buying drone maker Titan Aerospace in a move poised to advance its airborne delivery of data services and mapping applications. Titan's aircraft, which it calls atmospheric satellites, are designed to stay aloft for years and can provide voice and data services, according to the company, and can take images of the Earth and carry atmospheric-based sensor systems. Facebook was in talks to buy the company earlier this year, but the social network later said it was bringing on team members from UK-based Ascenta, which makes its own solar-powered unmanned aircraft. Titan and its roughly 200 employees will remain based in New Mexico. Failing to hear any further pings from the missing Malaysian airliner, searchers began using an autonomous underwater torpedo-shaped robot. The Bluefin 21 autonomous underwater robot went into the water in search of the missing Malaysian Flight 370. Last week, searchers detected electronic signals that may have come from the missing plane and moved to a smaller search area. The signals disappeared about a week ago, as the batteries in the plane's black boxes are only certified to emit high-pitched signals for 30 days after initially being submerged in water. The search is now nearing a month and a half. Sales of Sony's PlayStation 4 platform have surpassed 7 million units worldwide, but supply problems are continuing. Now available in 72 countries and regions, the platform had notched the milestone as of April 6th. A spokesman for the company in Tokyo would not elaborate on the supply issue, saying only that PS4 sales have been very strong, and as a result, PS4 is temporarily in short supply. The PS4 had sold more than 1 million units on its first day when it launched in the US and Canada in November 2013. Google's special glass sales event was officially declared over Tuesday night when the company announced all editions of the wearable device had been claimed. The sellout culminated a one-day-only sales event in which Google opened up its Explorer program to not just developers and special invitees, but also members of the general public. Google didn't say how many units were available. While consumer electronics makers and broadcasters are fixated on 4K as the next big thing in television, Japan's NHK is looking even further into the future and developing an 8K system. To give you an idea of how high a resolution 8K is, the purple box represents 8K, while the red box is standard definition and the green box full HD. While the technical hurdles mean that NHK won't be able to bring 8K into homes until 2020, the reason the group is working on the technology is simple.
And 8K is the ultimate resolution for human eyes. So 8K is enough for human eye, and no more resolution is needed.
NHK isn't only researching a display and camera to capture an 8K, but also encoding and transmission. It's using the new standard called HEVC, or H.265, which needs about half the bitrate of H.264 to transmit the same quality video. While 8K to the home is a ways off, NHK plans to produce test broadcasts in the next few years. Our colleagues at TechHive took a look at the new Samsung Galaxy S5 smartphone, and here it is in their rapid review.
The Galaxy S5 is Samsung's new flagship phone. The Galaxy S5 is powered by the latest Snapdragon 801 SoC and features a vastly improved 16-megapixel camera that automatically picks the scene every time you snap a photo. It's also water resistant because accidents happen. Just don't forget to close that bottom flap. And if you were coveting your friend's iPhone for her fingerprint scanner, you're in luck. The Galaxy S5 has one too. It works by swiping a finger across the home button.
And now it's over to Melissa Aparicio in San Francisco. Melissa?
Thanks, Nick. I got a chance to tour the SLAC Linac Coherent Light Source, a powerful X-ray laser that can break down materials down to the level of atoms and molecules. SLAC is on a 426-acre site on Sand Hill Road in Silicon Valley. 25 feet underground lies a 2-mile-long linear accelerator. Electrons zip through the accelerator at nearly 670 million miles per hour, just a fraction slower than the speed of light. The X-ray laser uses the last one-third of the accelerator, and the fundamental research done there can lead to innovation in electronics and information technology. For researchers who want to do an experiment at SLAC, it's a very competitive process. One of those researchers who got that opportunity is Stanford professor Aaron Lindenberg. He just completed an experiment using the high-powered X-ray to observe the way atoms moved inside a material. As microprocessors get faster and memory chips hold more and more data, scientists are getting closer to the very limits of physics. That makes it more important to peer deep inside materials and see how they work on an atomic level.
Questions we were trying to answer were, what are the speed limits for these processes? How fast can these materials really move? How fast can you essentially write information? Are there ways of using light to kind of all optically manipulate materials in new ways?
Lindenberg said it took a full year to prepare for his 5 days of experimental time at SLAC. And during those 5 days, his team barely emerged from the underground lab. So as you can imagine, Nick, there's a lot of pressure for these scientists for the experiment to go smoothly. Back to you in Boston.
Thanks, Melissa. Fujitsu is experimenting with a gaze tracking sensor to figure out what shoppers really want to buy. This demo at Fujitsu Laboratories outside Tokyo involved a lot of staring at wallets. The merchandise was just above 2 small sensors that track the gaze of whoever looks at the wallets, and algorithms turn the data into a real-time display. The sensors contain an LED that emits infrared light. The beams are reflected off the viewer's corneas, indicating pupil movements and gaze direction. Fujitsu said the latest sensor could also be used as a gaming interface or as a driving assistant to prevent drowsiness at the wheel. The company hopes to bring the system to market in the near future. Well, that's our show for this week. Thanks for joining us here on World Tech Update. To find out what's coming up on every week's show, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. As we head out, we'll leave you with some shots of the lunar eclipse. I'm Nick Barber, and for all of us here at the IDG News Service, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next week.